Hey, I wanted to tell you a story. Are you ready? It was about 20 years ago, maybe more. But I was out with some friends and we were all part of the church youth group. And I was the junior high youth minister, confirmation director, and many of the leaders that volunteer with the kids were there. And we were doing an activity, leadership building activity at a ropes course. I am typically not afraid of heights. However, in this ropes course, we were doing things to step out of our comfort zone, and there happened to be this telephone pole. So I don't even know, I'm not very good with measurements, but I would say maybe like 50 feet up in the air or so. And they put a ladder right up to the ropes course, to the telephone pole. And I started climbing and I thought, you know what, my goal is only to climb up to the ladder. When the ladder ends, I'm going to climb back down. So halfway through the pole, I went up the ladder and there were these spokes right above the ladder. And I thought, I'm going to try that. Let me see if I can do it. So I kept focus right on the spokes and right on that. And I kept climbing one hand at a time, put my foot up. I was a little nervous. Now, don't be nervous for me. I was wearing a harness, not dumb. But anyhow, still, the fact that I'm going up in this telephone pole, new experience. I'm not a telephone pole kind of person, so never done that. And I kept going and doing that. And then all of a sudden, I looked down and my friends had taken the ladder off because they wanted me to keep going. And that's really the whole point of a ropes course, that you'll keep going and you go through the process. So I'm like, all right, well, they'll put it back down if at least I get to the top of the telephone pole and they see that I got there. And I got to the top of the telephone pole and there was a 4x4 little platform that you had to hoist yourself up. And as I'm doing that, I was shaking. I don't ever remember feeling that intense feeling of like my knees shaking. Even thinking about it now, like really recollecting to that, and my breath is a little short. But here's the thing, I kept focusing on one step at a time. I put my hand up, then I put my elbow up, and I sort of pushed myself up. And all along the way, like I could feel the harness pulling me back. And I was really conscientious that at any minute I could stumble and fall. Well, not necessarily fall to my death because I was on a harness and I would be caught, but really your mind plays things with you, plays games, and it was playing games with me. But I kept going, and as I finally pulled myself up and I was kneeling on the pole, I thought, all right, I'm done. So I said to my friends, hey, can you put the thing back down? I'm coming back down. They're like, no, keep going. Stand up. I'm like, I don't think I could do that. I don't think I could stand up, right? So kept breathing, breathed a little more, and I kept looking around me. And really, I was feeling that intense feeling of, this is it, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna be a pancake on the floor. So slowly but surely, I raised myself up and I stood. And I was facing this direction. But behind me, on the other side, was a trapeze. That the whole point is that once you get up there, you're supposed to just free jump to this trapeze, catch yourself and swing, and then they lower you down. Didn't think this through, honestly. Now, I was 20 something and I was pretty adventurous. Not that I'm not adventurous now, because I think maybe I am more adventurous now than I was then, if there's such a thing. But it took me forever. And we were right near the airport, so planes were flying by and I could see like some of the city buildings around me and I was shaking. But I kept focusing on what the next best thing was going to be. I turned a little bit, okay, and I felt the pull of the harness, but I kept shifting and changing and moving in the direction that I wanted to do. And eventually I was facing the trapeze and it was there and I needed to take the leap and I needed to go. But really, honestly, I recall this. My knees, like, you know how they say your knees shake? Yeah, I was like, oh my God, really shaking. And I didn't love the experience at that moment, but I knew that I'd come a long way. And I knew that I needed to take the leap. I knew that I needed to. And at this point, a lot of the people that we were with had gathered around, and I don't know how long it was, but they were really like, come on, Julie, you could do it. You know how people are, because they're not the ones up in the pole, honestly. So I took a deep breath and I thought, you know what? I have a big decision in my life. And if I could do this, I can take the leap in that other area of my life. And I thought, oh, don't be ridiculous. Just get down, go back down to safety. And I thought, well, what's the worst thing that can happen? Oh, I could die. I could die. Oh my gosh. And my brain was telling me all this stuff. So finally, you know what? I got tired. I got tired of feeling afraid. And I knew that I was feeling afraid. And I knew that either way, I was going to feel afraid, whether I took the leap or whether I climbed back down. So I took the leap. I grabbed the trapeze, and as soon as I grabbed it, I swung a little bit, and then my hands were so sweaty, I slipped. But I didn't fall. I caught myself, or my friend caught me, because he had me on the rope on ballet, or whatever it is that you call it. So a long story, right? Long story. But here's the thing. When I found my list today, I realized that a lot of these things are things that I have been afraid of to do for a long time, and that they seem nice, and still some of the things that I haven't accomplished, I'm still afraid to go after them, but I'm gonna do them, because sometimes feeling the fear is important. It's important. The fear is going to be there, and the fear is trying to keep you safe. But if you just focus on the right now, what is my next best step? You can get there. So I need to reorganize my shelf. I need to reorganize a lot of different things that I've been putting off. And I'm afraid because, well, a lot of different things. But I know that fear sometimes is the companion that we need. And that no matter what, whether we do it or not, we're gonna feel afraid in times. And knowing that we took the leap, it's all worth it. So, just a thought. Hope you're having a great day. Bye.